So I quit my three jobs in Japan and started making 10K online working in high ticket sales. And ever since then, I had a lot of money to feel more independently secured. I had more time for myself so that I can actually live life and not work as much, but have more time to experience things. And then thirdly, I had more freedom of location because I was working online so that I can experience life while living in this country. All right. Now, we're going to break everything down, okay? Because you've been working and living in Japan the wrong way all this time for many, many years, right? When I talk about, earning money online and quitting your job so that you can have more money, you can feel more independently secured. The problem is that, we're just going to call the elephant out in the room. An obvious factor that everyone is noticing, everyone's seeing, and it's just becoming more and more apparent these days is that the yen is losing its purchasing power. And because of that, it's causing people to live even more below their means, right? Like if your budget used to be set up in a certain way for your food, you might have maybe made some adjustments for it, or maybe you stopped buying certain things and you went and you bought another thing instead. Like you just have to like maneuver around and make different decisions now just because the currency is taking a hit, and we got to start to adjust to these changes. Like historically speaking, we know that the economy has not been, stable for many, many years. And if we like the best way that we can predict the future is just by looking at what's been happening in the past, right? You just look at what's been happening in the last few years, you can almost be a psychic and know that it's just going to repeat itself, right? And why put things up to chance? Because we're talking about your money here. We're talking about your life here, okay? Um, and that's a big issue. It's the most obvious issue is the money. Because I was working three jobs, bro. I was working three jobs before I quit all of them, and I started to make way more money working online. And I'm still living in Japan. You can see, this, everybody knows when you see these walls, when you see, you know, those kind of doors, like so I'm still living in Japan. I'm still like experiencing it, and when you get this opportunity to make more money, and you're not in this survival mode and trying to budget everything, you can really start to experiencing it properly. And so you know because of the purchasing power, that's like the biggest red flag. It's the biggest issue that we're all dealing with collectively living in Japan. The second issue with what you're experiencing now when you're working in your job is that you're you're living your life on these calendars, right? Obviously you have your own schedule, and you have your own you've got limited paid holidays every single year, right? You're stuck to a set schedule, and you're stuck to this much paid holidays every year so that you can go and outside of that for a bit, outside of your normal calendar, so that you can still receive pay and enjoy that day off of work. And it's always, pre-calculated every year. So your freedom is already determined by somebody else every year. And that's an issue because, like, if you really like just compound things, because it looks little, but over time, if you when you really like realize how much of that time, of your own time and energy, that you're allocating to things that are not stuff that you actually value, like, deeply, which is whatever it is for each person living life. Like, for me, it's things like simple shit, like reading books, going to the gym, breathing air and going out. Like, you can always breathe air, but just going outside, going for walks, things like this. Like, all of that time and energy, everything that you're just putting out into your job every single year on those calendars, on that schedule, is less time that you're spending for yourself. And you compound that more and more over the years, and you realize how much of that is really being lost, you know, especially when you start to work, right? In your, like, early mid 20s, like, this is our prime. Like, this is our youth. This is our, the peak of life, right? So that's the second problem there, is having to stick to these schedules. And the third thing is, when you're working in your desk jobs, when you're working at a specific location that you need to go to, that you need to commute to, right? Um, Everybody who's on that same wavelength, everybody who's on that same path, because it's a struggle. It's a real struggle. We already talked about how the yen is losing its purchasing power, and the money's just not enough, right? Plainly speaking, it's just not enough. And then you got your own, like, your freedom is being you know what's that word I want to say, compromised. Your freedom is being compromised. The yen is low, and on top of that, you're surrounded by people who are also struggling in the same struggle. So everybody's on a low vibration and a low frequency, right? Everybody is in this kind of messed up mentality. And so when you're on those train rides, or in that traffic, or you're on your way to work, and everybody is collectively in that same kind of mindset, that whole toxic, messed up world, it's feeding into that low vibration, and it is affecting your energy. We can go, like, deep into that in another video, but that is something to really be aware of if you're not already aware of that. Okay, so um, you're stuck to this location, and it's just a looping cycle of negativity, right? So all of these things are issues of your current situation. So what's the solution? What is going to save me from this hell, this jigoku that I'm living, that you're living every day? And the answer is that you have to find the right vehicle. You've got to find the right vehicle to drive in and to take you out. And so the one that I found to be the best one, because I tried a lot of different online vehicles to get me that financial independence, that time freedom, the location freedom, working remotely, making money, and living life. I tried a lot of different stuff, and I believe that the best vehicle to start with, if you're looking for that for yourself, is high ticket sales. And I'm gonna tell you what it is basically. If you don't already know, and it's really public, you just go look it up. High ticket sales is basically when, like, there's businesses, there's companies, all of these companies all online, and you're gonna be the middleman who's going to help bring value to people who are interested in that business, people who want to buy, and you just provide value there, right? If they want to buy, you just provide the value, you onboard them, and whatever you make from that sale, that commission check, that's all yours to keep, right? That commission that you get from that sale. And the reason why I say that this is the best vehicle is because, number one, you get paid in dollars, right? So we already know how that converts in our favor. When you're living in Japan, it's pretty good. And when you compound that, the more money you make, like, bro, 2K is not 2,000 yen, okay? Let's just say that. Like, if you're making 2K, you're doing all right. If you're making 5K, like, okay, we're pretty comfortable. But if you make 10K, bro, 10K, like, the average person, if you're making 10K and you're living in Japan, 10K USD, you pretty much got like 6 months of rent already, like, put aside. You've got 6 months of rent put aside. You have like so much options, so much buying potential, and a lot of financial independence. So that's the first benefit, is that you're getting paid in dollars. Second thing is, because it's performance based, you get paid uh, on doing what, like, you when you get better at doing what you're already good at, you're going to get paid more money, because you can decide what business you want to be a part of, right? For me personally, I love like health and fitness, right? I love to exercise, I love to work out. So I'm going to go and work with a fitness company or a fitness influencer online on Instagram, right? Any of those IG models, or like the legit ones, people who are really want to help people with losing weight and getting in the best shape, and really just exercising, feeling good, living a healthy life, right? Things that I align with, I'm going to go and be a part of them. And because I'm already good at that, and now I'm providing value for that, it's easy. It's so easy if you think about it like that. If you love languages, if you love speaking, if you're like a native speaker of a certain language, you can go and be part of, the people who are doing language courses. It's like, just think about what you're good at, think about what you have passion in, and you can find any kind of company or online business or influencer that is providing a course, providing training, providing resources to people who are interested in buying them, and you just give the value. You represent the company and you give the value. So that's a really, really big benefit, is you're getting paid in dollars, and you're getting paid to do what you're already good at, what you're already knowledgeable at, what you're already passionate in, right? Think about a game that you really like, a game you like to play, whatever game that is. Imagine getting paid for being really good at that game. It's going to be so addictive, because you're naturally already skilled at that, right? You're naturally already in tune in that world. All you have to do is just be the best in that field, in that niche, and you're gonna get fucking paid like handsomely. It's all in your favor. That's the first that's the first benefit in when it comes to this vehicle of high ticket sales. The second is that you decide your own schedule and your own work time. Okay? No more of this bullshit of like when you're working in Japan, you've gotta move on, you know, your holidays go on Obon, on Golden Week, on Oshogatsu, like Mountain Day, Umi no Hi, all of these holidays in Japan that you've habitually designed your vacation days like according to, this is it, bro. Like it ends here. Like when you decide your own schedule working in this vehicle, you take a vacation whenever the fuck you want, bro. Like like I'm serious. Like if it's a random Tuesday and you want to go to Okinawa just because you want to, you can literally do that. You don't got to work on whatever schedule that your current job has got you binded to. Like those days are over, right? You're deciding your own schedule. You when you're in high ticket sales, you decide your schedule. When do you want to take calls? When do you want to work on your time? Because I that's exactly what I do. I decide my schedule when I want to work, when I don't want to work. Okay? So that's the second point there is you have power over your calendar and on your own time. And the third benefit and the third beautiful thing about being in this vehicle is that you have the luxury and opportunity to work from home and anywhere you want, right? Like I mentioned, you see these walls. I'm in my home and I'm chilling. I'm relaxing. And I've been doing this for a while. So you can work from home. You don't gotta be on those trains anymore. You don't gotta be stuck in that traffic anymore. Like that toxic environment, especially in the trains. Like if you know, especially in those rush hours, if you're living in like Tokyo or Osaka, like those trains and those subways, that's literally hell on a track. It's hell on a railroad, right? You don't gotta be in that toxic cesspool no more because you're working from home, you're working on your own time, you can literally travel and still work if you want to, because that's what I've been doing. Like when I want to go to like an Airbnb, when I want to go and travel, go to a hotel, like if I like I'm on vacation and I'm chilling, like I'm traveling, and if I have like maybe like an hour of yeah, I got some time, I might work, and I actually did that. Like I was doing that while I was in Fukuoka. I was in a an Airbnb, and it was like an hour before my checkout, and then I just went and I just okay, let me just work for like 30 minutes or like an hour, and I made money on that trip. On that little 1 hour waiting before my checkout, I made money. I think I made like a 23 2.3K sale. So that's like 10%. I made like $230 like on that little 30-minute pocket. Once I finished that little working window, and then I was like, okay, that's it. I made money on my vacation, and on my time, just because I decided to do that. And I just went, I packed up, and I continued my journey. So You have that power. You have that you have that luxury to do that when you have the right vehicle. Okay? Can you get paid more money in your current job? Probably, if you worked harder, if you asked for more, like more to do, but you don't have to do that. Like I'm working way less time now. Way less time now. Doing what I'm doing now. So it's not likely that you can get paid anymore in your current job. Can you decide your own schedule? Maybe you can, but it's also unlikely. It's also unlikely. You can try, but like complete freedom, like on your absolute own time that you want to work. Like if you want to work like 2 days a week, 2 days out of the week, like can you do that in your job? Like the chances are not likely. And then can you work from home? Can you work from anywhere you want in your current job? Maybe there's some days you can. Maybe there's some days you can do online at your job. But can you decide that though, right? And then here's the killer is can you have all three in your current job? Getting paid more money, getting work on your time, on your schedule, and working anywhere you want. Like you want to try something? Go to your boss the next day and ask them all three of these things. I want to get paid more. I want to work on my own time. I want to work anywhere I want. And you tell me what your boss says when you ask for all three of those things together. Okay? Cuz that is what you have the potential to actually have when you pick the right vehicle. In my case, it's high ticket sales. And what is the results of all of this? Like, what does this all mean? What does this all lead to? It means more money. Okay, that's the most obvious one. And that's the most, like, more money for you equals having more power. And having more power, because you're financially independent, it leads to having more options. Like, you don't have to go to the store anymore and decide like, oh shit, I'm on a budget. I don't have to, like, before I got to choose between this and this. No, buy both of them. Like, why not buy both of them? Because you have options, you have power, you have financial strength to do that. That's one of those results. The second is that you have more autonomy over your own time, which leads to having more control over your life, right? Like, that feeling where that you feel like you're out of control. Like, like not like you're losing it, but you feel like you just don't have that power. You feel like unstable, and it's kind of like internally. That lack of self-control, right? I know that feeling. And you can gain more of that self-control. You can have more of that control over your life when you are living life on your terms, on your time. And then, thirdly, a third result in all of this is having more life experience. Having more of that life experience because Japan is a beautiful country. It's a beautiful country. It's rich in culture and wonders that you can really live because it's all around us. Like we can see it, we can we can see it around us, but we're not actually living it unless we are waiting for those Obons, the Golden Weeks, and all those little holidays that they sprinkle around throughout the year. Us waiting for those opportunities. God forbid there's no typhoon. God forbid that we're not sick on those days that happen only a few times out of the year, like God forbid, like the apocalypse doesn't come right now because I want to enjoy my holiday, like fuck that, right? You have more control over your life and you can like experience the country, Japan. You can really experience it and the culture and really just enjoy your life overall, right? I swear to God, the feeling of it being a random ass Tuesday at like 10, 11 a.m. in the morning, and I'm just like walking outside. Like I'm just at the park, or I'm like yesterday I went to the movies. Yesterday I just went to the cinema and watched a movie, went to Starbucks. Like this is in working hours times, right? The whole fucking shopping mall was like nearly empty. There's just like me, my girl, and just like a lot of old people, people who are not like trying to work. And so the point is that you can really just live life and be free and have that freedom if you have the right vehicle and if you are genuinely sick of living the same looping hell that you've been experiencing for all of these years. And so I teach people how to build systems that's going to allow you to get the results, but also have the consistency so that you can live this lifestyle forever. Okay. It's not just about getting to the goal because it's great to have a goal, but knowing where you want to go is not enough for you to get there, right? You got to have a system in place to help you maintain it and really just stay in that loop so that you know you're never going back, right? So that's what I help people build. And if I were you and you're looking for something like this, then I would encourage you like just join my paid community where I teach people this stuff. I teach people this systems and do it before the course itself actually launches because right now it's building up and it's nearly done. Okay. And so people that join after the course is ready, they're gonna have to invest double. And the price is only gonna go up from there. So early action takers, like people who wanna like take advantage of that opportunity, they have that benefit of getting in while it's still low and while it's still fleshing out and while it's still early. Okay, so if I were you, I would definitely go to this description, find the link of my school community, and get to know more about that from there. Okay, go to the link right now and check it out. Let's go.